Here, this is one of the historic buildings in St. Louis, the ones at one time or another that had all the prestige. In the 60s, it was restricted. You couldn't even move here if you were a minority and you were not sanctioned by some bigger authority like the Catholic Church. This is specifically the Convent Gardens area. And in Convent Gardens, these buildings were designed originally for people who were involved with the Concordia Seminary and the other buildings around that were owned by the Catholic Church. This building has suffered very little structural damage, and it has all the original amenities, including, if you look, the sculptured stone and the textured brick. You can't find that stuff anymore. The finials and the other things, the designs on the building, they're still around. Some of them are painted over like this one here. Inside has a bunch of the same kind of amenities. But I mean, how often do you see anything like this? You can't buy that. You can't even build that anymore. So the idea of taking a place like this and turning it into something, that's what it's all about. I mean, right now, you could get this building, and there are federal grants available. Some of the grants have to do with lead abatement. Some of them have to do with inner city rehabilitation of buildings. Some of them have to do with something about providing housing. And I don't mean affordable like Section 8. I just mean housing in the inner city. Plus, this is close enough to Washington University and St. Louis University that it can also be a facilitation for graduate dorms. When they run out of dorms in St. Louis U and WashU, they seek to have relationships with buildings this size so that they can use them, sort of co-opt them as dorms. But this is one of the buildings, the castle, one of the ones that we are proposing to do something with right now. It's been tied up in several different litigations. A lot of developers have tried to touch this building, but I think they were touching it merely for the money that they were going to get out of it, the grant money and all the upfront stuff. But if you can see, this building has other amenities, including underground parking, which is over here. I mean, how often do you see that? So this building probably can be purchased for less than a couple $100,000, and it can probably be rehabbed for maybe less than $1 million. But certainly you can do one side of it at a time, the right, left, and the center. And while you're doing that, you can bring in tenants. So it's one to look at, one of the ones on my list.